Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition, and today we figured we'd bring you the review of Seven Wonders Duel by Repos Productions? Production. I always want to add S's and take S's away. Pluralize, not pluralize things. But anyways, this is Seven Wonders Duel. This is a two-player, hence the name Duel, two-player game. It takes about 30 minutes, and it's for ages 10 plus. Yep, right there on the side of the box, 10 plus. All right. So, like I promised, ta-da, I have notes as I knock them coming up. All right, I know I should probably figure out how to get something set up where you guys can't see it and I can see the notes and stuff, but I got them here to keep me on track, which I'm already off. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this review, and hopefully I can get it down where we do these reviews pretty smoothly. As you can see, I have the game set up. I ran through one round by myself very quickly, didn't really think through a lot of it, and set up the second round, or you can call them ages in this game. So let's go ahead and talk about the theme first. The theme of this game is civilization building, right? And you have your seven wonders, and that's part of the game. You have these wonders right here that you're building up. Now, I feel like the theme is there because you are collecting up cards and you're putting them into your city. It's kind of interesting, I think of it this way, but you're building your city, or you're building your seven wonders, which will bring people to your city, or you're becoming a military power by moving up and down the military track, or you're becoming I don't think a scientific power is the right word for it, but you can get a scientific win by having the most scientific discoveries. So the theme, I feel, is definitely there. Either, well, you make your city strong to get your seven wonders up, which get your points up. You can get points for the city and the seven wonders. Or you win with military strength, right? Your civilization wins by collecting up the military cards and building your military strength and beating your rival. This is just a rival city, so there's two cities going at it. Or there's always you get through the last age and you put up points, which you get from these cards, and some other things that you can do, building your wonders and stuff, that gives you points that makes you the greatest city. You can look at it as people want to go there more than the other city. So for the theme, I feel like it's really there. You really feel like you're building up a city and you're trying to collect up goods either for war, for the sciences. We have the science cards here, and I won't go through all of it. You can see the how to play, which we did. But you can build up sciences. You're really trying to build a civilization here. You're trying to make a great civilization. Or maybe, depending on how you want to look at it, not so great, but you get lots of points. There's lots of cool things to check out. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the mechanics. The mechanics of this game are card drafting, because you pick up cards from the middle, right? And you decide where to put them, or if you burn them, there's a couple things you can do with the cards. So it's basically card drafting. You can say set buildings, so you're collecting up sets, but that's really more so you can do things up here like build your wonders, buy cards, things like that. I would say mostly card drafting. It's a card drafting game, right? And the mechanics makes it fun, right? You build up these cards, these ages, in certain formations. Let's see if I can find there's really not a bigger picture. I have it on this little reference card. You have different formations that you build for each age. And in those formations, as you can see, there are cards that you can see and cards you can't see. And until one of those cards is collected by someone, let's say they collected it, the next card is revealed. So there's different ways that you kind of build up this track based on what card you grab, maybe what resources you have. You always have to grab a card, but what you do with the card kind of varies. So the mechanics is drafting and maybe not really set collection, but tableau building maybe a little bit, which means just an area, a machine kind of thing that you're building up the city, right? So that's the mechanics of the game. So you got notes to stay on track. Ease of teaching / play. At first I was going to do this as ease of play, but I figure you're going to teach the game if you're buying it. You might be playing it if you're just going to see someone, so you can take what you want from this part of the review. The ease of teaching and play it's really easy, right? It's easy to teach and play. There are some nuances, but the thing is, you get this help sheet, and that's why I have it out. And it gives you all the extra information you need to know. And when you first look at this, you might think, oh man, that's a lot, right? That's a lot for a little help sheet. But really, a lot of it is when you collect up sciences, you get 2 matching icons with your science card and you pick a token, you just take a second and you go, okay, what does each of these tokens mean? Some of them are easy to read. Some of them you might need a little extra explanation, right? And that's where this comes in. I found after playing this several times, you do look at it, but not as much as you would think. You're not constantly looking at it. Or it could come in when you're trying to figure out what some of the bonuses you get from these cards. So this one's very simple. You have the victory point. That's the science thing that you match up for the science. But there are some, especially when you get to, let's see, the 3rd age. We have the 2nd age set up here. Now I got to flip it this way so I can find one. There are some where you might have to look up, and these are guild cards. I won't get into all that. You can see it in the how to play. But there's some you might have to look up. And then you might grab the reference sheet, because you might be thinking, hey, do I want this card or do I want that card? And you're looking at kind of what you get, what it means. You might look at the reference sheet really quick, right? But teaching the game is super simple. And the ease of teaching and play is really simple, right? So the other thing that I'll point out is the teaching of the game. Really all you have to do is teach these basic things that are on this card. And you could give this card, if you already know how to play it, you can give it to the other player. If you guys are learning it together, you can kind of pass it back and forth. But it tells you what to do on your turn. Draw a card. Well, you always draw a card. Then it tells you can either build your city, burn the card for coins, or use the card to build wonders. So it tells you that right on here. So I think getting set up and playing this game is super easy, right? There's some basic rules. It might seem a little much, like I said, with that help sheet, but it's really not. There's 20 pages in the rule book, but let's see, the rules end actually on 12. It's 20 from front to back, but it ends on 12. And it just kind of goes into some more of the nuances, the ability to buy some materials, things like that. But you could just tell someone really easy how to do that. So I think for the ease of teaching and playing, it's easy. And then the basics are easy. There's the caveat. And then there's the player aid for some of the more nuanced things. But like I said, it's really easy to pull that out when you're like, oh, what token do I want to get because I matched 2 symbols? Or what card is better? Wait, what's that symbol mean? And you pop it up. It doesn't come up much, but when you need it, it's right here. I feel like the player, the help sheet really helps with the science tokens, deciding which one you want to pick. But you already get that. You don't have to decide anything before you get that. First, you match the thing, the items, the images on the science cards, and then you go, okay, I get to pick one of these. And you could stop and look at it and pick it, and it's that easy. All right, so the replayability. I think this game has a lot of replayability in the base form, right? So when you set up your ages, there's 3 ages that you play through unless someone beats with science or war, which ends or military or science, which ends the game instantly, and whoever won that, gets the win. But there are cards that you take. Oh, I'm throwing stuff. There are cards that you take away, you take out of each age. Only 3 cards, but it shuffles it up a little bit. Right? So that changes the replayability for each age. Where the cards go down when you put them down in the pattern, because you shuffle them and then you put them out in a pattern, that changes some of the replayability. You also have 8 wonders on the board. There's 4 extra wonders that come in the base set. You shuffle these up, you pass them out, changes replayability. Who gets those wonders changes replayability. And then the other thing is, you have the science tokens. So you have 5 of them out on the board, and then you have another 5 science tokens that come out on the board if need be. First person to get 6 kind of wins the sciences, or get 6 pairs wins the sciences, right? But there's extra tokens. That adds to the replayability. So there's a lot of things here that add to the replayability of the game. So I think there is replayability. Then on top of that, this game's been out for a little bit. I want to say 2016, but I could be wrong. But it's been out for a while. If you look at this box, this is a more recent version of it that I got. There's already, look, we've won all these awards, and you flip it on the side and we have all these great things said about this game. So you can tell the game's been around for a while. And with that said, there are some expansions. There are two. The expansions are Pantheon and Agora, which I haven't gotten and I'm thinking about getting because I like the game so much. You can actually go to the company website and get metal war marker and metal coins, which I'm thinking about doing, but it's from England and it would cost probably more than I paid for the game and the expansions to get everything shipped to me. We'll see about all that. But for replayability, out of the box, lots of replayability. And if you want more, there's expansions that you can get. So if you like the game, there's more expansion you can get, which brings more replayability to the game. Now, the production level is good. The cardboard is nice and thick for the coins. You get the little plastic war marker. The cards are decent. They're not super thin. They're not super thick. I am a little worried. I'm thinking about maybe sleeving the cards. And then the linen finish is always nice, but that might make the game cost more. But I would say overall, I'm satisfied with the production value of the game. The player aid, right, is thicker, if you can hear that. This card's the same thickness as the other cards, the other player aid. And the rule book is nice, and the nice thing about the rule book is on the back, it gives you the setup for the cards, so you could actually throw it out like this. And when it's time for the next age, as you can see, there's 3 ages and 3 shapes that you build. You can go ahead and look at that. And I mean, honestly, the material quality for the pages is really nice. I'm not worried about this getting beat up. You also, sorry, my nose is a little going now. You also have a pad of, I don't know how many sheets, but I do what I always do, and I laminate it so I can use a dry marker and I don't have to use up all the sheets. Fear of running out of sheets, I guess. And the last thing I want to say about the production, the box is nice heavy box. It's got the linen finish. Some people like this, some people don't, but it has an insert and it fits everything nicely. And there's extra space. And I don't know with the expansions, if all the expansions wouldn't fit in here. Like I said, I haven't gotten the expansions, but if you're just getting the main game, it was plenty and it's enough to play with and have lots of variety and replayability put together. But I like inserts, right? I know some people don't. Tom Vassell from the Dice Tower, I feel like he always says he throws the inserts out. And all I can think is you throw the insert out, then the game's sliding all over in the box. I like inserts, especially if everything fits nicely. And there's room for expansions. They can never account for all the expansions, but inserts nice. So production, good production, right? And then the last thing that I would say is the value. And I put value versus cost, and we'll see if I want to keep it that way in the reviews. But what you pay for this is $29.99. It might be up to like $34.99. I feel like all games have bumped up about $5 at this point for a variety of reasons. But you could usually find it for cheaper than that. But let's start with the MSRP. One, we have to accept that games are getting a little more expensive. And it's a little hard for me being early into this hobby where I'm like, oh, there's so much great stuff. And now everything's bumping up. And I'm like, I missed the train. There's all this great stuff out there and now it's more expensive, which means I don't get to play as many games. Take it for what you will. Crying, what is it called? First world problems, things like that. But let's look at it at $30, around $30. I think this is a good game for $30, right? The production value is nice. The theme is fun. The mechanics are an enjoyable mechanic if you like the idea of drafting, right? You can look at it as just drafting. It's fun. It's easy to play. It's easy to teach. There is definitely strategy going on with a little bit of luck. There's replayability in this. And I already said the production's well. I'm just kind of going down my list. So for $30, I think it's a good game. So if you're looking for a good game for 2 people, I think this is a good game. Now, you can also find it, as you know, if you look around, you can find a used copy. You can find it on sale somewhere, or maybe a local store is doing a sale, the big box stores, which everybody hates. Some of them hold this, especially the online ones. You can get it for a discounted price there, what have you. But overall, I think it's worth the price. Even if you pay the $35, I'm a cheap person. I'm a cheap bastard. Anybody who knows me watching this video knows I tend to be kind of a cheap bastard. I have a friend, I believe he prides himself in paying full price at the local game store. Okay, that's cool. I like paying less. I'm cheap. I understand that. Or frugal if I want to be nice. But I still think if I knew what this game was before buying, that's my problem, not knowing and then buying. Even with research, you don't know if you're going to like it. I would be okay with this price, right? I think the price is good. Now, let's go ahead and wrap it all up with, would I play this game again? If you can't tell, definitely, right? And going back to this always keeps creeping through my head. These are games that I buy and I play. So, of course, they're games that I would probably play again, but just letting you guys know. Is it a fun game? Enough where if someone said, hey, do you want to play 7 Wonders Duel? I'd be like, sure, let's play it. Would I ask to play this game again? Yes, I would ask to play this game again. I really don't know with Resvon how well we could play it online, but we should be getting really close to her getting here. And I really want to sit down and play this game. I think this would be a game her and I would really enjoy sitting down and playing, right? I think this might be one of our go-to games, but it all depends on what she thinks. On my side, it's a yes. So yes, I would ask to play this game again. So that is the review of 7 Wonders Duel by Repos Production. I know there's not an S at the end. Repos Production. And it's a 2-player game, hence the duel once again, and it takes about 30 minutes to play through. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.